So hey everyone, today's video we are going to be talking about reactivating a line on your campus, and I have the beautiful Jay with me to discuss her perspective on how she went forward with creating a whole new line with brand new people at her campus. So before we get started asking the really interesting questions, just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you joined the sorority of your dreams and what prompted you to do that.
Currently now I'm a senior. I crossed when I was a sophomore in fall 18. I am an industrial engineering major at the University of Dayton. And I never really knew about Greek life as much. I just knew, like, at first I thought it was just like AKAs and deltas. And I just knew, like, people were in a sorority and, like, they did community service. Like, I didn't know much until I got to campus. And I just kind of started befriending people. And my campus, I'm on a private school campus, so there's like not many Black people like at all. So in PHC, like, people usually, if you're Black, usually you're in PHC. That's kind of just how it works. So most of the people I knew and my friends were all Greek. So I would always go to like their probates or like step shows and things like that. And I kind of just got interested, but I didn't really see an org on my campus that I necessarily meshed with or aligned with. So I started doing some research, went to a couple informationals and met some people and really loved the people that I met and just went from there.
What prompted you after your sophomore year to start another chapter at another campus? How did that occur?
So it's kind of different. So I don't know if it's in other orgs, but I know in our org, Sigma Gamma Rho, if your campus doesn't have a chapter, because at my school there was never any SGROs at all, so we chartered a chapter. So at my school when I was a sophomore, there were no SGROs at all on campus. So when you can do that, you can become like a central region member until you get a chapter on your campus. And as a central region member, you join undergrad chapter. So I had sorors at a different campus, which is like 15 minutes away from our campus, so we're really close. People are always going to each other's events from the campus, so that's where I got to meet some of the sorors and get interested, and I went to like their informationals and things like that. So I got interested my freshman year in like October, so I didn't get to join until that year afterwards, just because of paperwork and like getting to know people. And I kind of butted heads a little bit with the campus and things like that, because they were kind of just like, why would we bring another Black org on campus when it's only like 5 of y'all on campus in general, stuff like that. So like you wouldn't be able to sustain membership and things like that. So it kind of just, it was just a lot of work to go into it before I could even become a member.
So you had to go through the institution's rules as well before you went through Sigma Gamma Rho's rules. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember telling people that because sometimes what people forget with organizations is we have our own national set of rules as to how you can charter a chapter, because you chartered. You didn't do a reactivation. That was a charter. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you did a reactivation. So you did a whole charter. So you have to follow their rules with how to even get people interested, and then you could start your process of recruiting people. So how did you get those people interested in joining Sigma Gamma Rho?
So I was a solo when I joined undergrad. So I was a solo. And so I joined, but I knew, like, as a solo and being the first ever SGRO on campus, like, people were going to look at me regardless. I was no longer going to be Jada, the engineer, Jada, the engineering ambassador, Jada, the RA, nothing like that. I was going to be Jada, the SGRO, or that SGRO if people didn't even know my name.
Right.
So I already knew that I had that platform that I needed to build off of. So automatically, usually in grad chapter being older ladies and things like that, there's not really like a neophyte presentation. So I made sure that I did have a neophyte presentation. Even though I was really nervous because I was by myself, but I did have a neophyte presentation, and that automatically like brought a lot of people there and got people interested and just getting our name out there. And I also like knew of like somebody that wanted to join while I was like currently going through the process, but I wasn't like going to say anything in case, like, I don't know, like paperwork and stuff could have fell through or anything like that. So I didn't want to say anything. So I already knew I had someone that was interested, and she was currently doing research and stuff like that. And we would Like she would like tell me all the time, and I would just like keep it hush, like I wasn't doing anything. So, but just events and talking to people, I don't think I necessarily got people interested. I think I was just myself. I already had a big platform as far as myself as a student. Like I mentioned, I was an RA on campus, so I had students coming to me all the time for different things. I also am an engineering ambassador, so I work on campus in different offices all over. People knew me. I just did events that I thought were good and aligned with the mission statement, and got to know different people. And I was a camp counselor, so I was all over. So people kind of knew me in general. So I feel like that kind of helped getting some members.
And how many interested members did you have for that charter line?
So the charter line is a charter line of 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the charter line of 8, we have 1 freshman, 1 senior, and the rest are sophomores.
Okay. And what was your process like for you? Because you were not only the membership chair, but you also had to bring them in as a first-time membership chair. So what was that experience like for you?
I think I paid really close attention when I went through. I paid really close attention of how my like schedule was and things like that. So I knew other people's schedules were going to be different. I was just only one person, so I knew time management was going to be the biggest thing that I had to work with the ladies as well. And as far as charting a chapter and reactivating a chapter, basically all the paperwork that I ever did, like for SGRO specifically, it would say charter / reactivation. So the same paperwork someone does to reactivate is the same paperwork that someone does to charter. And luckily the same amount of numbers, the numbers was the same for my institution as well as for SGRO. So my institution to start an org is 5 people, and that's the same with chartering or reactivating a chapter is 5 people. So that worked out really well. But yeah, I had a great advisor. My advisor, she was the one that brought me in. So we already had that relationship and that bond and that understanding. And we got started, I would say I started prepping to bring in a line the semester after I joined. So I started spring 19 working on paperwork and things like that, and getting schedules together as far as for my university and like paperwork and stuff. I started spring 19 and I didn't bring in the line until spring 20. So it was a lot of work, but it's going to be easier from now on for the other lines.
And as far as your interests / applicants, how did they all mesh together with coming in and being aligned and basically not knowing each other and creating a sisterhood? What was that experience like?
So like I said, our multicultural population on campus being a PWI, I believe we're 3% multicultural, specifically Black on campus. So we're all really close anyways. We have this lounge on campus that we all go to do homework, to eat, and things like that. So we're all pretty much close. So it wasn't like, oh, who is this? Like, I don't know this person, as it would probably be like at an HBCU or something where there's so many. So we all already knew each other. So that really worked out. And a lot of us were in the same major, in the same classes and things like that. So we all were able to mesh really well together as far as that goes. And some of them actually were roommates for 2 years. Like, so it was just like people just knew each other and they kind of meshed together in groups. But I think ultimately it worked together. It has to work together, I feel like, to be a successful chapter. But we did like a lot of bonding and team bonding, celebrates birthdays together and things like that. Just like you would meet anybody in a stranger or your coworkers and things like that. You have a common goal, which is to excel the mission statement. So you just work with that common goal and get to know each other. And if there's any disputes or anything, you handle it like you do any other relationship.
Did you have any difficult times with chartering your chapter? Was there any uphill battles you had to go through or anything you had to overcome with the girls during that process?
I would say my main focus was really like getting the numbers. So it was kind of, and numbers, it's not just, oh yeah, I want to join and here you go. Like anytime you join an org, one of the biggest two biggest things I would say, like I mentioned before, is time management. So you have to work around people's work schedules, class schedules, and things like that, as well as finances, because it's not cheap. And even if you do pay the initial fees, like you still have to keep that money up, and you have to know that they're prepared to keep those fines up and dues up and things like that. So I think that was the hardest obstacle, making sure that everybody had everything in place that can sustain it, not just, oh, I saved up for this and that's it. Like, make sure you have a sustainable savings account, your time management, your classes and things is going to work out before we can even get started.
And last question, what was your best memory from that process?
My best memory, I would probably say, like, just afterwards. So, like, after, like, before the reveal, like, when, like, they're inducted and things like that, and, like, before the reveal, like, no one else knows, but y'all have that bond, like, it's like a secret you're all sharing. And that, like, that secret, like, you all have fun and you hang out, take pictures and things like that. I feel like, so that was after all the stress was done, after we got the charter paperwork approved and everything like that, like, it was like, wow, we're finally here. Like, that moment that we all were able to share was amazing.
Do you have any questions for me? Anything in regards to YouTube or any videos that I've addressed before?
I don't know.
It's okay.
I've seen, I was like, I've seen basically all of them. They all pretty seem straightforward. And you were actually like the first like SG Row like YouTube page that I found, or channel that I found. Because I know like our numbers aren't as, I feel like we're getting bigger now. But like the numbers when I was getting interested freshman year, which was 2017, like it was not a big platform at all for like information and why people want to join. And especially as someone who didn't have a chapter on campus, like that was really helpful. So thanks for that.
Yeah, my vision for Sigma Gamma Rho is to just spread the word that there's more than one person, or there's more than one sorority that has the information. And I think it's good to be able to reach out to other people in different chapters like yourself to get other perspectives, because I can offer my perspective as far as what I went through in my chapter, in my sorority. I say this all the time. Everyone's perspective is different, which is why I think that it's great to be able to reach out to you, who chartered a whole line by herself, literally by yourself, and to be able to share your story with people. And I'm going to link your YouTube channel below so that everyone can see your channel as well, because I know you're doing some things too, and also your Instagram, if that's okay. Everyone can see that as well. But thank you so much, Jay, for coming on and just sharing your story with me. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys in our next collab that we're going to post on Jay's channel, so make sure you check out her page for that, and we'll see you guys in our next video.